My name is Chris Belmont. I'm the VP and CIO here at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas. I arrived in MD Anderson about 2.5 years ago. At that point, MD Anderson had made a decision to move off of the homegrown electronic medical record system they had, which was not only homegrown ambulatory EMR, but it was a hodgepodge or a collection of other best-of-breed kind of solutions like most organizations had. But decided that our motto here is to make cancer history, and what we decided was our goal wasn't to make software history. So the idea of let's focus on our core competency, go with a proven platform that would provide the services that we needed throughout the institution in a very integrated fashion that allowed our caregivers and our cancer fighters to focus on what they do best and make them more efficient. So about that time, MD Anderson selected Epic as the electronic medical record, or as we call it here, the electronic health record of choice. We were very selective at our partners, for our partners, and probably more importantly, the actual consultants that engage with us. Our goal was to keep our use of consultants below 10%, not for budget purposes, but because we felt that we needed to own this project going forward. As much knowledge transfer as is desired, it just doesn't happen as easy as if you own it yourself. So we engaged with several organizations. Nordic was one of the most productive and efficient and valuable resources we had. They came in very quickly. I remember my first exposure to a couple of them. I had to ask, is that us or them? Because you couldn't tell if that they were from the outside, which is the perfect scenario, because we always felt that they were engaged in MD Anderson and to the benefit of the project, but also the institution. So it was very gratifying to see them kind of gravitate to the mission, just like we have as we do every day as employees. I think the preparation that went into the project, led by Nordic and validated by Nordic, our activation team in particular, really helped us kind of dodge a couple of what could have been significant interruptions and bullets. For example, I think it was on day 2, we had a power outage at our main data center. And because we had practiced and rehearsed and tested our failover plan, I think 4 or 5 times, it was seamless. So our users didn't even know that one data center lost power and we failed over to our second data center. So we did a technology review. The reconciliation, the conversions, migrating that number of appointments and reconciling that was just amazing. And again, a success factor that could have easily gone the wrong way, and not only would it have impacted the go live, but the efficiency of our ability to see patients. Then when we turned it on, we noticed there were things like wait times that were going up, and we swarmed around that in one of our chemotherapy areas in particular. We swarmed around that, brought some best practices, stood up a second command center just for that ambulatory treatment center. And we're able to drive our wait times down. So on our 3rd or 4th day go live, our normal wait times were, say, averaging 90 minutes. We were actually seeing 70-minute wait times. So our wait times actually went down after we implemented some of the changes, and again, supported by our partners. In a project like this, you want to say that the go live event is, you might want to think it's the end. Actually, it's the beginning. So if we would have stopped right where we are today, all we would have done is replaced our legacy environment. Now what we have is a tool that we can build on. The integration is invaluable. The fact that if something happens to a patient in registration, you immediately see it on the clinical side. So the integration is a fantastic feature of the system. But now we have the opportunity to take it to the next level. There are still some features we haven't implemented, like a lot of the mobile applications, a lot of the self-service check-in features. But then we also have the opportunity to optimize some of the processes that we didn't get around to, or we elected not to do because we didn't want to put too much change into the institution at all. So we're about 1 month into the go live. In about another 45 days, we'll heavily kick off an optimization process. We're already collecting and prioritizing where do we want to optimize. Optimization is a little bit of a, in my opinion, a little bit of a tired word, but it's basically how do you take the tool and make the organization better. And it's not just the features and functions, but it's also the processes that happen on the back end. One of the great features that we have, and I think one of the great successes we've had to date, is our ability to get good information almost in real time. So a lot of the decisions, a lot of the issues that have arisen, we're able to back that up with data. So we're able to look in real time, okay, what is the effect of this change? Or if we found an issue, how big is the issue? Well, we were able to look in real time, and I remember in a meeting just last week, originally we thought we had an issue with 45,000 accounts, and we quickly were able, through the analytics process, winning it down to say, okay, it's really only affecting about 3,000, and then from there we could focus on the 3,000 instead of saying, okay, we've got a massive issue. So having that ability and transparency of data and having access to such rich information is going to be critical. Epic will come out with updates every year with new features and functionality. They absolutely have learned from us on the Beacon side. Since we're the largest standalone cancer center in the nation and probably the world, they will always be working with us to improve Beacon, along with several other modules along the way. So we have a great partner in Epic. We have a great first start with the go live, and now from here it's how do we take advantage of it. Now that we've built a relationship with Nordic, and as we decide and we try to form what the future looks like, I mean, we're pivoting if you think about it. We've been at this build and this implementation for 2 years. So getting us here is not what's going to get us there. So the idea of partnering with Nordic and bringing their expertise forward, we think that there's a good fit for optimization in the future. And whether that's a large project where we'll have to do project management or spot augmentation, or probably more importantly, just some advice. The fact that when we bring up ideas and they're quick to saying, okay, here's an idea or here's an experience, they absolutely have more experience in an Epic environment than we do. If you think about it, we're only 3 weeks in, so we have 3 weeks experience in an Epic environment, where Nordic Advisors brings a wealth of expertise. So either an advisory role or direct hands-on, we're looking forward to a much longer relationship.